As you might have guessed, today's video is all about photos and Magic Plan. Let's get started. So, as I said earlier, today's video is all about photos and Magic Plan. From capturing photos, to editing photos, to storing photos, to exporting photos. I will cover all of those topics in this video here today. So get ready, we're going to cover a lot of information. The first thing I want to highlight though is in the past, you always wanted to capture photos while you were building a floor plan or after you had already built your floor plan in Magic Plan. That is no longer the case. I've navigated into a brand new project here. I'm going to go to our photo section and go to camera. And I can now take photos and save them to a project before I've even built out a floor plan. Now, there is one key difference between the photo capturing experience when you have a floor plan versus when you do not have a floor plan. Let me show you. So I'm going to go into this project. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to camera, but this time you'll see that I have an attach to option. This is going to allow me to select, is this photo on the project level? Is this on a specific floor? Is this on a specific room in that floor? Now you can select where precisely in the floor plan this photo is going to be allocated towards. So I'm just going to go ahead and say living room here, and let's capture a single photo. Let's get one more for good measure. I'm here in the studio today. Now, there's a couple things I want to point out. First, at the top, you'll always see which floor and which room you're in as you're capturing photos. So if I want to change this, I can just click on that paperclip icon, and I can go to kitchen, and now you'll see that it says ground floor kitchen. Additionally, you have some zoom options, right? So you have a 0.5 zoom, a 1x zoom, 2x, and 3x. By default, it'll be on 1x for you. Now we have some camera settings. You can make local copies of all of your photos as you're capturing them. This will store it directly on your device. Additionally, you can have a timestamp overlay. In the bottom right of my photos, you'll see that there's nothing right now. If I turn that setting on, I will now have a date and timestamp on every single photo I capture while I'm using Magic Plan. This is super helpful for folks that need that sort of information when they're capturing photos on a job site. Additionally, you can adjust the resolution quality of your photos. By default, it'll be on medium. This will cover the majority of your use cases, but higher resolutions will let you pick up higher amounts of detail. And compression level will be default on high. This just helps performance within the application when managing a lot of photos, and also it helps if you're storing photos locally to not take up so much space on your device. You can switch this to low if you want to preserve the quality of your photos, but it's entirely up to you. Now, we have a different setting here for all of the different photo capturing modes. You have default 4:3 aspect ratio. I can go to square. I can adjust this back to 4:3 aspect ratio. We have 5:4, and last but not least, we have 16 and 9. Again, entirely up to you what you want to use. By default, it will be at a 4:3 aspect ratio. Here, I can rotate the camera. I don't want to surprise myself with my own face. So I'll rotate so you see the bottle. And a really, really cool feature that I absolutely love. If you have a cat event and you're on site at a property, there's no power. It's really dark. It's later in the evening, right? But you need to capture some photos. You can turn on this torch mode and have the flashlight on your device enabled while you're taking photos. Alternatively, you can do auto flash or turn the flash on for all of your photos or turn it off for all of your photos, entirely up to you. But I'm a big fan of that flashlight or torch mode, as we call it. Now, one little sneak peek I want to give you guys here today. In the bottom right, you'll see that it says photo in yellow. In the future, this will also include video and 360 photos. This is something that we're working on for you guys. We understand that sometimes you want to capture videos for your project and that 360 photos are obviously very important. We support that, but now during the camera capturing experience, we want to support 360 photos directly. Now, this is all the settings during the capture experience. Let's go through editing and markups. I can either click next, or if I go back, you see a little thumbnail with my last two photos that I've captured. I can click on that thumbnail. Takes me to the same place. Now, first thing you'll notice, that paperclip icon exists down there beneath the photo, telling me which floor and which room I was in. I can click there and adjust which room after the fact, no problem at all. We also have captions. You can type out, hey, I was in the living room, or using the dictation mode, I was in the living room. And just like that, my note's done, my caption's done. I can exit out. We have edit options here. So you can crop your photos by just dragging the corners. You can use this rotation option. Maybe I rotated too much, undo and redo in the top right of your screen. You can adjust the scale, flip horizontally on its axis, rotate 90 degrees. A lot of different editing options for you. Additionally, you can fine-tune the photo. You'll see things like contrast, saturation, brightness, the list goes on. You can explore all of these yourself and see how they affect your photos, but I think brightness is extremely important for the reasons we were talking about previously. Maybe it was a dark setting, you had that torch mode on, but maybe the photo's still a little dark. You can just turn the brightness on, no problem at all. Another thing that I like to highlight, let's back out of this photo and let's go to the water bottle photo. We have a redact option. So if you're working on a property and there's something that you want to hide from one of the photos, maybe it was personal assets from the homeowner, something that you didn't want to be seen in the photo report, simply click redact and protect your customer's privacy. No problem at all. We also have a lot of very familiar annotation options. We have increased the capabilities of what we can do. You'll see things like Sharpie, arrow, text boxes, ellipses, lines, and every single one of these options will have more details that you can select once you've tapped on it. So you can adjust, for instance, the line width, the color of the line. I can adjust where the arrow starts, where it ends, where is the arrow actually pointing, things like that. But that covers editing and marking up photos. The way I like to summarize what we're doing in magicplan now is it's like having a mini little Photoshop directly in your photo capturing experience. You guys are taking a lot of photos in the field and you need to edit these photos after the fact sometimes. Now anything and everything that you need to do will be right here in the magicplan experience. So after I'm done, I want to save these photos. Done. Click on Save All. And now I can go into my photo gallery and show you what we have going on here. So lots of photos here, a lot of information that we're capturing, right? I need to organize this data in an intuitive fashion. So in the top right, you can group your photos by either floor or date created. If you just need a simple chronological order, you select date created. You can go from newest to oldest, or you can go from oldest to newest. I personally like floors because it gives you a level of granularity and detail that you wouldn't have otherwise. And you can even group these, subgroup these photos based on the specific room, right? So right now I'm on the basement level. It shows unfinished basement, then it shows workshop. I can turn this on or off if I want. And I can also hide empty rooms and floors from my filter options if there's no photos attached to them already. Entirely up to you. Now there's a couple other things you can do as well. So we're on the ground floor looking at the living room. Maybe I want to add some photos directly from the gallery. No problem at all. I'll go to my photo library this time. Let's get this photo of my dog Luna. And we said ground floor, living room, no edits necessary. Maybe I'll redact my colleague from the photo. There we go, done. Save. Just like that, it's added to the ground floor of the living room. Additionally, you can bulk select photos if you want to delete them, download them locally, share them using whichever operating system using those built-in options, or you can move them to a different room or floor if you want to after the fact. Deleting, really easy. And now you have a comprehensive photo evaluation of the property that you've been working on. What are you going to do with this data? Export it, right? Maybe you want a web gallery, a URL you can send a customer or a colleague that highlights all of the photos from the property that you took. Or maybe you just want a PDF. So I'll take one of these PDFs, we'll go over to the file section here, and I'll click on one. This isn't just a normal PDF though. If they're opening this on their iOS device or their Android device, this is interactive. You can do this from the computer as well. Just click on the photo. It'll expand the size of the photo so that you can actually see it in higher quality directly from within the PDF. Maybe you have a physical copy, there's a QR code. They can scan that with their phone. They'll get this digital copy that they can then view all the photos from. Really, it's a comprehensive report that'll cover all of the photos you took and allow you to share that easily with people that maybe aren't using magicplan but want to see, hey, what photos were you taking of the property? And that's it for today's video. We covered a lot about photos, from capturing photos, editing photos, storing photos, exporting photos. Hopefully you learned something today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. Until next time, have a great day.